What's going on, guys? So today we're gonna shoot our own grad photos, and I'm gonna take you step by step exactly how I do it. I really don't know exactly how I'm gonna do any of this because there's actually a graduation that's supposed to happen in about a half hour because the school had to separate them into 3 ceremonies, but I think we're still gonna be able to get some really cool shots, and I definitely think that some of these photos are gonna come out really nice. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of my inspiration really quick because there was a couple of people whose photos I looked at and I was like, hey, these are actually kind of good. So I liked Halle's photos over here. So here's a screenshot of what her photos looked like, and I really liked the way that she posed with her cap, and then the gown photos as well. Really like these photos because of, you know, just the way they're so simple. They're very airy and bright, and on top of that, they're actually like they're shot from a distance, so you can definitely see that compression in the background, and I really like that because it really allows for the separation between the subject and the background, which is really important whenever I'm doing portraits, because I always want to isolate the subject and make sure that, you know, the photo is actually about the subject and not just the location that they're in, you know, and not just about maybe like the cool flowers in the background. It's got to be about the person. So today, majority of these photos are going to be taken using probably something around f2.8. The great part about this is that I'm doing this all alone, so I get to hone in on the exact features of myself that I want to portray in the photos. So I think that's really cool, and it's definitely gonna help with the self-confidence as well. Also, I like this one photo from Reese over here. This photo is actually one that I really like as well because of just the pose that she's in and the lighting as well. So I'm gonna see if I can maybe recreate that, even though it's super overcast right now, but that's all right. Once I get out there and begin making these images, we're gonna have something really cool, and I look forward to seeing the final product, and I'm gonna take you guys again along with me for the ride. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright guys, so I've just arrived at my local park, and I've picked this place specifically because it means something to me, and that's one of the things that I highly encourage people to do whenever I'm talking to my clients. I always tell them, make sure that if you're going to book a place, that you pick something that means, you know, something sentimental to you, whether it was a place in which you grew up, whether it was a place that you met someone you really liked, etc., etc. Whatever that place may be, this one is that for me because I've just done so much here that I've pretty much grown up around this area, and that's why I'm gonna take my photos around here and hopefully be able to get something really cool out of this location. So without further ado, once more, let's begin to take these photos. All right, so currently I am shooting on the 35 1.8 with the D750, and I choose this specific combination because I just don't want to put the camera so far back because it's going to be super hard to control. On top of that, I also want to be sure that I'm getting a pretty wide field of view here because I don't want the background super compressed, but I'm taking the photo in front of, like, through this soccer net right here, simply because it's going to provide a good foreground element to blur out when I'm in front. So I'm pretty sure, as you can see right here, if I was to go like that, it's not the greatest on the iPhone camera, but it'll look a lot better when I take it on the DSLR. So overall, this photo is really just a test shot. I don't really care too much about how well it comes out because this is just the very first shot of the day. I'm just trying to get my creative juices flowing so that I can get better shots as we go through later throughout my session. So I decided to put on my mask really quick, and I'm actually going to move to the center of the field. The reason being that I like the amount of open space we have here. So you can see this mask is like really small. It's already like popping off my face, but I like the amount of open space that we have here, and I can probably use this if I go perhaps the way you guys are facing here, that way, right? And if I go that way, I can get the back of that net in focus, not in focus, but in the background, and I can use that to make a really nice and symmetrical composition. So I'm going to set this camera up on the opposite end of the field and zoom into 200 millimeters. This is the Tamron 7200 G2. I love this lens because of just, you know, how versatile it is. I mean, kind of versatile, but it's a really specialty lens. The thing is that I just use it a lot. So I'm going to set this up, and actually you guys can see right over there what I'm doing with this. So I'm gonna set the camera just like that. Actually, I'm gonna put this down on the floor, but you guys can see where this is going. So now I've taken my tripod and put it into this crazy contortion. As you can see, I've messed with the center pole a whole bunch, and yeah, so This tripod's amazing. Anyway, I've now placed it down over here and I'm going to shoot across this way, and as I told you guys earlier, this is what my composition looks like right now. I'm going to be sitting in front of it in just a second and you guys will be able to see the way that these photos come out. All right, I like the way a couple of photos turned out. There were a couple people that showed up afterwards. So you can see some of the kids over there that are just playing around. Next location is going to be a bit further back in the park. I have to take a second to walk back there. So I'm gonna meet you guys once again when I get to the next location in which I wanna shoot. It's incredibly humid right now, but I did just get to the location over here at these hills. So now I'm gonna set up my camera really quick. I think I'm gonna stay on the 200 for a while now. With the 200, I'm gonna try and get on top of the hill right behind me. I mentioned earlier that I wanna do a lot with the compression, so I think that if I use the 200, I'll get a lot of that. So I'm gonna set up the tripod really quick, and then afterwards, I'm gonna show you guys the photos that we get. So yeah, let's do it. Instead of using my phone to focus the camera, instead what I'm gonna do is pre-focus on a spot right here. And to do that, I'm gonna just zoom in and then set the focus manually. I've already done it really quick, so I don't wanna mess it up. So that's gonna essentially dictate where I stand. And this way I know that I have to stand right by where that fern is right there. And I've actually set the camera on a timer. I like this because I can use 10 seconds, so it gives me 10 seconds to get up there. And then afterwards, I have 9 shots and then an interval between them of 0.5 seconds. So I can hear the click once, and then I can move into a different pose in 0.5 seconds. It'll take a shot again, and then again and again and again and again until it reaches a total of 9 shots. So we're on our way to the next location right now. So it's, you know, of course, really sentimental to me because I used to come back here all the time and I still do. It's actually a great way to get to this park. So once the high school graduation wraps up, then I'm gonna go into the high school and then take some of the extra photos that I wanted to do earlier, but I couldn't do because I forgot that the graduation was happening as I woke up and decided, you know what, let's do this video. I might take some photos over here as well. I like the benches over here, so I could take advantage of that. But for right now, we're gonna go to the pond. There's a couple of benches over there as well. And those are gonna provide some nice scenery that we can use to make these photos look great. So I hope you enjoyed me going through that little session right here at the benches. I definitely think that we got something really cool, or some cool shots at this location. And I think one of the greatest parts about going right here is that I milked the absolute crap out of this place. And this is just like a very small location, so you don't need to have something super grandiose in order to make some good images. So now I'm gonna head over to the high school because it's about 9-ish. It's like much past 9 o'clock. And what I'm gonna do is take a couple of photos over there, and I'm going to explain a little bit more of what I'm gonna be trying to achieve over there when I get into the car. So for the sake of time, I'm just gonna skip right over. So let's go straight into the car. All right, so we're back in the car now, and Halle actually sent me the link to the full gallery of her session. So I'm gonna use that for a bit more of the inspiration that I wanted to earlier. And I've been shooting for a long time today, so I'm gonna call this the last location at the high school. And again, it's all about milking the crap out of the 2 locations that you have. So from this park, I've taken the soccer field, I've taken the back area where the pond is, and there is still more to go within this area. So there's a whole bunch of different spots that you can pick out from just one little area, and that's the beauty of, you know, honing in on just one particular spot that you really like. So I'm gonna go over to the high school right now and find a couple spots at which I think I'll be able to get some really good images, and I'll show you guys again the process of what I'm doing once we get there. So let's head over right now. Okay, so I'm now in front of the school right here. So I wanted to use the mask as well as the cap, just like she didn't use the mask actually, but I wanted to use the cap as well, like she did. And with this, I'm gonna try and, you know, get some kind of a depth effect. So I don't know how else to explain this. I'm just gonna show you guys the photos. Let's get to it. Okay, pause 1 minute. I forgot to record the end of this video. So we're gonna call this the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you stayed until the end, then I really appreciate you. Also, if you want to follow the Instagram and see more of what I'm doing in my daily life, then please be sure to follow at @ittalk, which is the personal one, as well as @section, which is the photography account. I'm also going to give a big shout out to both Reese and Halle because I used their photos in this video, and I want to thank them very much for having inspired me to do all of this on my own. Also, if you want to see more of me doing other things, such as playing video games, I do that quite a bit now because I have no other things to do. So I'm gonna plug the stream really quick, which is twitch.tv/BH4TTI. If you guys want to see me play video games such as Warzone, Valorant, Minecraft, etc., then please be sure to hit up the stream. I'd be happy to see you guys in there. And lastly, if you guys really did enjoy this kind of content and want to see more of it, then please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more future videos like this one. That is all. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care, take it easy, stay safe, peace.